RPG podcast with your host, Bell again. In this episode, we have two player spotlights, one with Randy Marsh and one with Angelheartscake. Just a quick note before we kick off, a correction to something I said last week regarding the rune cube and its drop percentage. There's some tweaks to it, and we got confirmation from Firestream. What it does is it decreases the rarity of items by 20%. So that means when you get an item and it rolls on the roll table, the rare items are 20% more likely to show up than they used to be, which means overall you'll get more rare items and fewer common items. All right, enough with that nugget of mechanics. Let's dive in. This is another player spotlight on the Farm RPG podcast. As always, I am your host, Belogan. Joining me once again today is Augie.
Hi. Oh, my voice just got really high there for no reason. Ooh. Hi.
You're sucking helium?
No, I breathed wrong. I don't know how, but I just breathed wrong. Hi, I'm Augie, and I can't...
It takes proper breath technique and support.
I have asthma. But we also have another guest with us.
Today, we do. We have a player today who has been rather difficult to track down. I finally threatened him with the chat ban today and said, look, you're going to come on or you're never going to talk again. That finally did the trick. Thanks for coming on board, Randy Marsh.
It's not the first time I got threatened.
You have experience with that.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I had to get my name changed.
Oh my!
I haven't looked at your player notes.
I'm gonna go look now.
We're gonna look.
Yeah.
Let's see. I see Augie has chat banned you. Temple of Stone has chat banned you. Jessica got after you for a username. You're right. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Jessica. Yeah.
I chat banned you.
Milk Bark had to get after you.
Yeah, he did too.
Back in October.
Mm-hmm. Pretty early game for me, at least.
That was your first day. That was your first day. You had me and Temple of Stones. Like, wow.
Well, this is a real redemption story. I think it goes to show sometimes those stern warnings work.
Yeah,
right?
They work. Yeah.
We've talked about Augie getting warned by me for being a mod as well. And she's not the only one. There's been another staff member or two I've had to get after for things for in the past.
Now I do it.
They change their ways and move along.
Now I yell at everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't like to, but I have to.
Awesome. So sometimes we have to play the bad guy. Yeah. So Randy Marsh, you started back in October, which was a pretty good time to start with the Halloween event going on. Where did you learn about Farm RPG in the first place?
So at school, senior year, I got a shout out Farman Marvin. He's one of my classmates who I saw him playing. And our school gives us iPads, and throughout the day they block all of our apps on the iPad for school time. But they don't block Safari. He was playing a game on it. I'm like, oh, dude, what are you playing on there? And it was Farm RPG. I'm like, that's cool. It's the only, game at school that's unblocked. And that kind of became our big thing in school. Farm RPG spread throughout the school to about 8 or 9 people.
Very cool. I
feel like that's not the only time I've, maybe not necessarily on the podcast, but like seen it happen in real time. It's especially when it's like, young, like not like kids, but like, 9th, 10th grade. And, they all have like the same type of username, and just like the one discovers it and they're like, guys, we can play this at school.
Oh yeah. It was by like, a month or two. Yeah. By a month or two, we had, 4 or 5 people that, were dedicated players that stuck with it.
That reminds me, I think I've told the story on the podcast before, but my youngest kid, that Bushy, who's on episode 5 of the podcast, he had found out that the Chromebooks that they had, and this was in 8th grade, the teachers could spy on them to see what tabs they had open. So he created a web page that had the header that looked like the school district's website. So when his teacher would spy on it, see what web pages are on, it looked like he was on the school district website. But then he just embedded like all the Java games that he wanted to play. It was in class.
Dude,
kids still do that now, give or take.
Yeah. He also found out if you hit the inspect properties on a web page, it brought up a thing where you had a command prompt that would work as a calculator.
Oh, wow.
So They did really well in math that year.
Yeah, I wish I knew that one.
I lost. I'm still looking at the player notes. I lost the. There it is.
You got lost in the player notes.
Yeah.
Well, you're up to ask the question, Augie.
So in one sentence, how would you describe the game?
I describe it as an essential game for those who need to keep themselves occupied.
Yeah.
I love the word essential.
Yeah, it's need to.
You gotta.
It's not just an essential oil; it's an essential game. It's required.
I wonder if Firestream could code in like a scratch and sniff, like lavender, peppermint. That would be impressive.
That would probably have to be like on the merch if they ever get a merch store.
Oh yeah, dude.
Get your Farm RPG
I can't wait
hat.
for Farm
Scratch
RPG
and sniff.
stickers.
Scratch and sniff Buddy Stone.
Ooh, what's that smell like?
We don't want
to be
know.
determined. We're
Okay.
not good.
So Randy Marsh is the username. Maybe that sounds like a wrestler name for a WWF wrestler or something like that. Where did your username come from?
It came directly from the show on Comedy Central, South Park. He is Stan Marsh's dad. It's kind of a crazy character that it evolves into kind of a crazy guy in the show that owns a flower shop.
That is a good way to put it. A flower shop, yes.
Yeah, and my farm name is Tegrity Farms, which is the name of Randy Marsh's farm in the show.
You know, I see there's so many people with the name, with the farm name.
Yeah. Oh, are there?
Yes. But you have the username to kind of match the.
I do, yeah.
Yeah.
I missed the reference. I haven't watched South Park since like high school in 97 or 98.
It's a high school show.
It is. My percussion class, we were watching an episode with our group. We were supposed to be working on some piece that we had finished. And our band teacher comes in, he starts watching, he starts laughing. He's like, "This is so bad." And then he just laughed and walked out. It's like, carry on.
Yeah, no, it's Randy Marsh now owns a flower shop. Well, it's like a farm, but for flowers, and that's what we're gonna leave that as.
Yes, we will.
Yep. Well, besides Farm RPG, are there any other games that you like to play?
Yeah. I bought the PC about 2 years ago. I play Rust, CS:GO, Minecraft. The game I will just expend hours on is called Slime Rancher.
What do you do in that game? I almost bought it once, and then I didn't.
Slime Rancher is a great game. It's you're a little farm guy with a little vacuum gun that goes around scooping up little slime guys and like breeding them to make little like port monies you sell to upgrade your farm and expand and defeat bosses. It's very open game. It's very colorful. I like it.
I like fun colors.
Oh yeah, it's very bright.
I don't know.
I'm just a little bit colorblind.
I don't know if there's like cicadas out my window or if somebody else has some noise going on around them, but that just like I don't know who that is.
Where I lived last year, we had the Brood X that came in, and it was really the worst. It was, millions of cicadas all at once coming at you when you're mowing the lawn.
Terrifying. Oh, is it Belligan? Is that your parrot?
It was.
I hear a bird.
No, it's my wife's parakeet, and he will not shut up. And he is not parakeet, a canary.
Canary.
Yeah, it's a canary. He will not shut up, and he is difficult to filter out when it goes off. Drives me nuts, but he's an official part of the show at this point. It's been in enough episodes.
He is the mascot. He's cheering you on from the background.
We'll have people come over, and he'll go off, and they're like, "How many birds do you have?" I'm like, "It's just one." It's just one.
That's all you need.
But lately he does this different kind of a singing that drives our dog nuts. And he'll start barking and looking for who's there. And my wife's just like, they've figured out some language, and he just keeps calling her names or something. And that's what
the banter.
All right. Yes. All right. Enough. And I'm not the pet lover in the household. So I'm like, fine, whatever. We have to deal with anything with the pets. But enough about the pets in the Belligan household. Back to Randy Marsh. If there's anything you wish the farm RPG community knew, what would that be? And it could be game related. Doesn't have to be just anything in general.
Yeah. When an update comes out in the game, read the entire update until you go into spoilers chat and ask everybody, where Strange Gem is.
Yes, read the full update. That is a good idea. I am guilty of not reading the full update. I just read whatever I can see in chat, and then I go ask something, and then I supposed to be, like the green star, supposed to know everything. I am the fool.
And you that is good advice. With the update link.
I do read updates. I might not read quests, but I do read updates.
You could read quests. You should.
On occasion, when I'm looking for lore nuggets.
They're really well done. Super well made.
Well, at the time of recording, one of my quest lines, the next part just dropped, the Jubilee, and it was like terrifying watching spoilers. Like the salt level was too low. I felt like I was like, I gotta give him some French fries or something.
Yeah, I got about 1,100 stored up right now.
That was a pretty good quest line. I enjoyed it, Augie. Nicely done.
Yeah, I definitely think that Tenfu buffed the rewards, because when I wrote it, some of like the nice items that we have now in game didn't exist. Thanks, Tenfu, if that was you. But
I'm excited for that quest line then. I'm only on Jubilee 5.
It's like it's got like nice cushion. It's cushy.
Oh yeah.
It's cozy.
I hope so. Trust the quest.
Trust the quest. So, do you have any interesting facts about yourself?
Yes. This August, I'm going to college for it's called natural law enforcement. Become a park ranger. And so I will not be becoming a ranger like y'all, but I will be becoming a park ranger, if you will.
A better ranger, honestly. You'll get a hat.
I will get a hat. I'll get a badge.
What kind of program is that? Is it like a 2-year?
So I'll be taking, it's a 2-year degree, but I'll be taking like athletics and criminal law, but like ornithology, we study birds, and dendrology, we just study trees, stuff like that, which like really nature courses.
So is there a particular park in mind that you would like to ranger?
I believe what will happen is they'll send me, also don't mind the train in the background. We get 124 a day. No, the program's 2-year. Wait, you asked about the parks. Okay, sorry. No, so they send you where.
To be fair.
Yeah, they send you where you're needed. So basically, wherever there's not enough park rangers, will send you. But they'll probably send me out west, somewhere like Grand Canyon or Yellowstone.
That would be awesome.
I'm very excited.
I'm excited for you.
Thank you.
So, what was the motivation for you to pick that program to do? I
love helping people and I love nature, so might as well combine the two.
I'm thinking of the one interaction I can remember having with the park ranger. We were fishing somewhere that we shouldn't have been.
I mean,
but it wasn't really our fault. There was a sign posted, but it was turned to where you really couldn't see it, and it was kind of overgrown.
I mean, do you have your license?
Well, we did.
Well, that's all that matters. I mean, but at the end of the day,
yeah, it was off a stream into a reservoir that they intentionally don't want you to fish in, because that's where the fish go to breed. Yeah. Anyway, the trout would go up there to breed, so they had them posted not to fish there, but we couldn't see it, so we were trying to fish.
Oh, yeah.
And my dad comes running over, stop fishing. I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah,
anyway, he tried to fight it, but it was posted even if you couldn't see it very well.
Yeah. Law's the law.
Yep.
I'm back on the player notes.
Back on those player notes, man.
Yeah, how's that looking?
I mean, honestly, not too bad. Beginning was a little rough.
Oh, beginning was rough. Like
day one.
I hadn't fully appreciated the community yet.
Day one, I gave you a chat ban.
What did I do? I forget what I did.
Edgy global chat presence.
Trolling.
Okay.
That could be anything. I mean,
you're right. It truly could be. I've come a far way. I've come a long way though.
Yes.
Sometimes I look at these player notes. I'm like, that sounds something like my kid would do. I could see them doing that.
Sometimes I look at player notes and just sigh.
Some of them were definitely my fault. Most of them were definitely my fault. Well, maybe all. Yes, all.
Way to accept responsibility. We like that.
Yeah.
So much better than you made me do it, or you egged me into it, or what I did isn't wrong. It's your definition
fault.
of things.
It's impulsivity. My bad.
What do you mean I can't break the rules and would not get in trouble? That's not fair.
But this is legal in my country.
No, yeah. Community is the best part of this game. It's one of the big parts that keeps me coming back.
Yeah, I feel like the community just brings so much to it.
Like I couldn't tell you another game that, you go and chat and you are actually met with a nice, good morning. I genuinely cannot tell you a game that is like that.
Yeah, or like I was like just kind of open spoilers earlier and somebody I think got a promotion or a new job or a raise and like everybody was like super hype about it.
Oh yeah, dude. It's just so wholesome every single time. And you have your occasional hiccup, but
but
people listen.
There's like enough people being kind-hearted and wholesome and good and
if someone's in
patient.
Chat being a butt, they're gonna be like, hey, let's just all be nice.
Yeah.
I think every time I've looked at spoilers today, they've been talking about requirements for medical programs. I think mostly Ghost Mortalis, previous guest on the show.
Yeah, I think that was the person that I saw that got some sort of something. Yeah, it was like 3 or 4 times I just like opened spoilers. They were fine, but it was like medical jargon that I didn't understand fully.
Yeah, I almost only lurk in spoilers now.
For a minute, I thought we were looking at staff chat from last September. So we staff No Velcro Shoes as a doctor in Australia. We had a previous staff member, Honk. He's not around anymore, but he was a doctor as well. And sometimes they'd just be talking about stuff that they're doing in the emergency room. And
yes. And it was like
at one point where Firestream's like walks in, walking out.
And like they would go on, just super like in-depth like medical talk. And then one of us would just link a meme page or something.
Sometimes they'd put photos on the staff Discord too, like this guy getting shells or the balls from a shotgun removed from his foot where it accidentally shot himself.
Oh no!
Oh man, that looks painful.
Could not be me.
All right.
Anyways.
All right. Well, with that, Randy Marsh, thanks again so much for reaching out in chat, being compliant, learning from your mistakes, accepting responsibility, being a decent human being, and most of all, for coming on the podcast.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity.
Thanks for hanging and not having an edgy global presence anymore. That was the wording.
That part of me was ditched behind back in October.
Yay.
This is another fantastic player spotlight here on the Farm RPG podcast. As always, I am your host, Bellogan. With me again this morning is Augie.
Hi, I'm a little bit stuffy because I'm stuffy in the morning, but I'm here.
And apparently awake, we've been told.
Yeah, I'm awake. I'm here.
Our player today is Angelheartscake.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
So first off, thank you so much for reaching out to me to come and be on the show. We're always looking for more players to volunteer so that we don't have to go hunt people down in chat. I really appreciate it.
Sure, of course. Thanks for having me.
So looking at your account, Angelheartscake, it looks like you've been playing since September 16th. So we're getting inching closer to that year mark for you.
Yeah. It's a great game. I'm a serial monogamist when it comes to games. So we've been going steady since September, and I'm excited about our 1-year anniversary coming up. We've had a great time with each other,
Any special plans for that anniversary?
No, no special plans for the anniversary yet. You know, I feel like the game keeps bringing new surprises all the time. So I just look forward to how things go from day to day, from week to week, because this relationship has evolved quite a bit.
So that begs the question, where did you meet Farm RPG? Was it like at eHarmony or Match.com, or where did this come out?
It was kind of like that. You know, I have a certain type. My type is incremental games. And particularly mobile games, because it just suits my lifestyle. It makes me, I have a pretty busy life, but it makes me feel like I'm still playing even when I'm away from the game. And so I was on the subreddit for incremental games, and someone had recommended it as, just it is an incremental games-ish, or, there's some similarities there. And so that's why I decided to check it out. And we've been together ever since, and it's been lovely.
That's fantastic.
Well, so if you only had one sentence to describe this experience, what would it be?
So if I had to describe the game in one sentence, I would call it an ad-free, always evolving incremental game with an aggressively generous community.
I would agree. Aggressively generous. That's correct.
Yeah. I have a little story, which is just about how aggressively generous this community can be. So for those of you listeners out there who have not joined in chat before, I highly encourage it. Folks are super friendly, especially on giveaways. If you ever need anything, please don't be afraid to ask for stuff. There are many people who like to give stuff. And the aggressively generous part is like where people just really insist on giving each other things of value, whether that's orange juice or lemonade or fishing nets, those kinds of things that you can use in the game, and even the premium currency of the game, which is gold. And there's this thing called mailbox wars, where you receive items of value from someone, but then you can't return the favor because the other person purposefully keeps their mailbox full. And then you get into all kinds of shenanigans of trying to get that person to empty their mailbox so you can give them the stuff, or you try to get someone else to convince them to empty the mailbox, and you're just trying to figure out how to shove those items back in there. And I've been pretty good in mailbox wars because I'm really persistent, and I'll just wait. I'll just wait until the person's mailbox empties and I'll give it back to them. But I was soundly defeated when someone actually topped the gold that I was trying to give them, because they then bestowed upon me a beta subscription. So now I have a subscription to the game as a result of a mailbox war.
I love that. That's hilarious.
I was pretty surprised.
Yeah, I've seen the mailbox wars.
Yeah, people get testy about it. If you go into giveaways and ask for something and your mailbox is full, people will let you know. It's an issue.
I was going to say...
Yes, I would say that they're incredibly generous folks.
Well, and I remember, I think it was you, and I think were you the one that was collecting Rudolphs?
Oh, yes. I am.
Remember that.
That was not my idea. This was back during the Christmas event, and for some reason, I don't even remember how it got started.
But
some fellow friends.
You had enough Rudolphs, and I feel like I made a library page about it somewhere in the depths.
You did.
How many Rudolphs do you have?
At that point, when you made the page, it was over 1,000 Rudolphs. Right now, my count is 1,408 Rudolphs. That's plenty. I'm not actively looking for Rudolphs, but even now, I will still get the occasional Rudolph sent to join the herd. But yeah, this was during the Christmas event, and I don't remember how it happened. Folks just started sending Rudolphs to me, and then I had this herd to manage.
And yeah, I feel like it just kind of starts with, how do I have 300 Rudolphs? And everybody's like, you need more. That's just kind of how that goes.
Yes.
According to your profile, the current count is 1,408 Rudolphs.
Yes. It's a lot of Rudolphs. There's no reason. There's no good reason to have that many Rudolphs, but I do.
We'll have to see if that number changes after the podcast. I suspect it'll go up. Just a hunch.
Maybe. And if anyone wants a Rudolph, let me know. I'm happy to share, especially those of you who joined after the Christmas event. I'm happy to share the wealth of Rudolphs.
That red-nosed reindeer.
We'll have to dig into some of the other profile titles that we have here in a moment, but let's talk about the name Angelheartscake. Where did that come from?
It's pretty straightforward. I like cake. I like cake of all kinds. I like chocolate cake. I like carrot cake. I like pancakes. I like crab cakes. All the cakes. I don't discriminate.
I also am a connoisseur of the cakes.
I think there was a time in which folks were debating cake versus pie, and I am squarely in the cake camp. I'm not really into pie.
It's a tough one. Depends on the pie. Yeah.
I feel like pies are just filled cakes. Like, think about it. They're just. It's got a filling, but it's cake.
I don't know. I'm not that big a fan of pie crust. I like that fluffy texture. That's important to me. So like a molten lava chocolate cake, those are great.
Ooh, yes.
But that's not a pie. And then you have pies that aren't filled, so to speak. Like you've got like chocolate cream pie or those other like cream pies. They don't always have like a crust on the top.
But what about cheesecake? Because cheesecake is like pie with the, the insides, except it's cheesecake and not
Yeah, it's
pie.
very similar to like a ricotta pie. But again, I'm just not that into pie. It's the pie crust is too dense for me. If I'm going to go for some kind of pastry-ish dough, I would go for something flakier or fluffier like a croissant.
Well, if you ever go to the Cheesecake Factory, I think they're the 30th anniversary. It's not the graham cracker. And it's got a lot of chocolate. It's really good.
You mean like chocolate as the crust?
Yeah, it doesn't have a graham cracker crust. It's got like a chocolatey one.
Ooh, that sounds nice. I haven't been to the Cheesecake Factory in a while, but they have so many different kinds.
We had a gift card, so we bought an entire cheesecake.
Very nice.
It was good. Man, I'm tired right now. It's fine.
Good morning.
About the cheesecake.
Yeah, we have cake conflict in our house. My wife loves to make cake. I like to eat it, but then I get in trouble if I eat too much. But I also get in trouble if it doesn't get eaten.
Ooh,
It's a delicate balance.
That's rough.
And when all the kids are home, it's like you've got to get your share before it's gone.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, yeah, you got to probably set a timer for like when it'll be done.
What's the most typical kind of cake you have in your household?
I mean, the easiest one is just the basic devil's chocolate cake with the white frosting from a can because it's easy to make and it'll last.
That's great too.
It's supposed to last 2 days, right? Because with 3 people eating it, the way it gets cut up, everyone's supposed to have 4 slices, but one of the kids can never wait till day 2 to eat all that.
Can I tell you one of my favorite ways to eat cake is particularly, and this is really great for like, the chocolate cake just from a box. I'll take a slice and I'll put it in a bowl. And then I'll add milk. So it's like eating, cereal with milk, except it's cake with milk. I call it milk cake. It's really delightful.
Well, I know there's cakes that are like the Tres Leches cake.
Love Tres Leches cakes. So good.
But I've never done it with milk, but I have put like ice cream and cake together before. Like, yeah, I got both.
And you mix it up. You gotta mix it together.
Both. So I do. I have both.
It's an excellent combination.
Especially if it's
I'll also just take whipped cream by itself because, I'm an adult. I can do that.
Yeah. I'm an adult. I can go to the store and buy an ice cream cake, like a Carvel ice cream cake, and I can have them write happy birthday on it. It's nobody's birthday, but I can do it. I'm an adult. I have adult money. I've done it before.
Nice.
Maybe like once a year, I'll just kind of like, I'll need that like confidence boost. I need to make like an impulse purchase to remind myself I am an adult and I can do what I want. It's like I'll buy a Carvel ice cream cake. Nobody to stop
That's
me.
fantastic. If only we had ice cream cakes in the game, I'm sure we would be putting ice cream cakes in people's mailboxes.
I'll have to bring it up with Firestream. Well, I know that before you said that you're a video game monogamist, but are there any other hobbies or anything that you do in your free time in general if you don't play other games?
Yeah, so my major hobby outside of Farm RPG, because I guess it's okay to have maybe one, my major hobby is puzzling. I love puzzles. I would say that there's a fair number of folks on Farm RPG who also enjoy puzzles. Like there was a while where we had regular puzzles going on the game, hosted on the chats or, via people's profiles. That was really fun and amazing. And I think that maybe sort of dropped off a bit because I think it took a fair bit of effort. But I really enjoy puzzles. So I think maybe the most easy point of reference for folks is probably escape rooms. So I enjoy escape rooms, but I also participate in puzzle hunts. And I join events like the MIT Mystery Hunt, which is like the biggest puzzle hunt of them all. And they're a different area, same hunt, shortened to Dash. And I'll also work on puzzles from the Puzzles and Answers magazine with friends. So I really like puzzles.
Like the logic game type puzzles.
Yeah, they could be logic game type puzzles. It's not like a physical jigsaw puzzle kind of thing, although I enjoy those too. These puzzles are more like you might have to figure out the anagrams for something or types of relationships between different items. So I had fun writing puzzles on Farm RPG. They were usually, Farm RPG themed, and sharing those with other players. That was a lot of fun.
I also enjoy those. I also like regular jigsaw puzzles too, but no, I have like a lot of the other games that I have on my phone are like logic type puzzles. Like there's like a series that does like escape rooms, and they're like super like weird, as sometimes escape room games are, but they're not scary, which is good for me.
Yeah.
So I check maybe once or twice a week to see if they've done the next one. It only takes me 10 minutes, 15 minutes to do, and I get through the whole thing, but I enjoy those.
Yeah, they're fun. I think I still have like the puzzles that I wrote saved somewhere. So if folks are interested, hit me up, let me know. Sure, puzzles that are Farm RPG themed. Bring them back. Yeah, maybe that's what we need to do. We need a little puzzle revival in the game. And I would do like a scavenger hunt, so you'd have to like go from one location to another within the game to find different things based on the clues there. So it was fun.
I like writing puzzles and things, but I hate doing them.
Turns out it's easier to write them than it is to solve them.
A lot of times, yeah.
Well, because you know the answer.
That's true.
Right.
Like it should be obvious, but it's not sometimes.
Yeah, that is the trick to writing a good puzzle is, it's got to be challenging, but you also want them to be able to solve it. And so, you're trying to set something up that, it's going to be hard for folks, but ultimately they're going to win at cracking, whatever insight they need to get the puzzle.
Yeah, have a way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. If there's anything you wish the Farm RPG community knew, that could be in-game, out-of-game, life in general, what would that be?
I think the thing that is probably already obvious to everyone, but it's probably worth still saying anyway, that gratitude goes a really long way. I really appreciate all the appreciation. I think it's an important part of what helps to bond the community together. I love seeing all the TYs in chat, not just to me, but to other players too. And I think it's really important that we remember to say thank you for things beyond just, like giving answers or items to other folks. I think it's really important that we thank staff like you, especially Firestream, for their work in making such a lovely place for all of us to play and hang out in. So to those of you who are listening, if you enjoy the game and the community, maybe just take this as a little reminder, take 2 minutes to, PM Firestream or a staff member or a fellow player just to write a note of appreciation.
Well, I appreciate your appreciation. No, I know, especially in giveaways. Like if you ask for something simple like mushrooms or mushroom paste, you'll get it. You'll get it, first of all, but it'll be from, 5 or 10 or however many people, sometimes, not every time. And obviously trying to go and thank each person individually might take a while. So I'll just say thank you, everybody, as a blanket statement, because like they know, they get it. They have the same thing happen.
Yes. And what's really nice now is that there's a mailbox log. So like, I try my best to return something to everyone who sends something to me. So if they've sent something to me, then I don't have to worry about missing who sent me what. I can just go through the mailbox log and, follow up and make sure that I send a little something back.
Yeah, usually I send glass orbs or grapes or feathers, just something that I have that I didn't ask for.
Oh, Augie, I know you really enjoy spinning the wheel, and now I'm also on the going after the responsible wheel spinner badge. So
Excellent.
I also have a lot of glass, so much glass.
It's like I always joke, I always have the glass is just falling out of my pockets everywhere I go. There's just shards of glass trailing behind me because I have too much all the time.
I think I'm swimming it like a ball pit,
That sounds
which sounds like a
painful.
terrible idea, but
That
there I am.
It sounds like you got some bruises going on from the. Oh.
It does not sound. It sounds like an enormous safety hazard. So I need folks to please help me take this glass away.
It was at the point where I had so much all the time that even giving it away was not helping. Like,
no, yeah.
I had
at a certain point, you have like smaller mailboxes on there, and you have to go to trade and just sell like at a ridiculously low price, hoping that someone with a large mailbox is going to take it all.
Well, or I would just because I know the players that have like a ridiculous inventory and a ridiculously large mailbox, so I just message them and be like, "Hey, do you want glass?" And a couple times they've been like, "Yeah, I'll take 10,000." And I craft. I have the full glass, my inventory. I send it. I go craft more with the shimmer stones and unpolished and ember stones, and I send them 10,000 glass, and I'm still full on glass.
Mm-hmm.
It is a problem. It's not a bad problem to have, but it is there. It exists.
Augie, didn't you already get the badge?
I did.
You're still.
I'm at 5,400 spins now. I try to still spin 50 times a day. Today, maybe the day I waver from that, just because the Borgin shop is selling the buddy stones.
Yes. I spent all my coins there today.
Not even 10 minutes after reset. Actually, it might have been like 20 or 25 minutes. There were 3 people that got the background. And I'm angry. I'm angry. I feel less, you know what? It's fine because I was like I am half awake before I sleep and after I sleep, and sometimes in the middle of the day. It's fine. It's just a me thing. But I miscounted the amount of chests I was opening because I was opening the medium chest with ancient coins and I was opening the large chest, and I mixed up which one was what, and I accidentally avoided 4,000 ancient coins. And I was like, I'm going to wait till tomorrow to do any more of this because I'm not good at math in general, especially now. Ugh. But yes, I do still spin the wheel.
So wait, how many buddy stones does it take to get the background again? 100 or something, right?
You need 100, and then you still need to have
24 players have it right now.
Oh my gosh!
You need 101 because you still need that 1 for small cave. The buddy doesn't steal your stam.
So, and then what's the price at Borgin today for a buddy stone?
1,000.
1,000. So, in theory, if you had 100,000 ancient coins,
you'd have the background.
You could. Whoa! Or I guess you could also have traded for like the buddy stones with runestone 11, right?
But that is a longer journey.
Yeah,
that's 500 runestone 11s.
And runestone 11 is sort of is particularly challenging to get because that is the corn runestone, no?
Corn jail.
That's the one. Yep.
Yeah. That's a lot of corn.
Corn jail never ends, I have to say.
I haven't GM'd corn yet, but I was really surprised with the GM stats that there are a fair number of people who have GM'd corn. That's crazy to me.
I'll get there when I get there.
I'm working on it now. It'll be a little bit still.
You're working on the corn GM?
Corn. Well, yeah, the GM for corn. I've got all the faster crops from corn done. So corn's on my list now.
Wow.
My peppers are halfway.
60K.
I have 31,000 corn.
Peppers you can do like in 3 hours. If you just sit down and do it, you can do it in under 3 hours with all the perks.
But I can't. I can't just do that. I can't just do that. There was during state testing, everybody that's not proctoring is positioned somewhere to just monitor whatever. And I was babysitting, one of the bathrooms to make sure one at a time, everybody's quiet in the halls. And I spent probably a couple hours just with peppers, and I couldn't do it for more than 20 minutes at a time. I'd have to take a break and I don't know, do something else.
Yeah.
do it.
I cannot do manual fishing
That
very
too.
well. It is so painful. It's so painful. But those are the only two badges that I have left, the wheel spinner one and the manual fishing one. So I am actually finally doing manual fishing, and it is so, so painful.
It is a marathon
And
and not
I'm
a
at like the
sprint.
halfway mark. Yeah, right.
I have
And Belogan, thank you very much for Rudolph's number 1409 through 1438.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
I knew I was sitting on a few.
I think I still have like 6 or 7. Okay, I have some of most of the holiday items that are available. If I have more than one, sometimes I'll just, if a player seems like upset or sad, it's just in general about life, I'll just send them like a treat bag too.
Aww,
And a Valentine.
that's so nice.
I have a good backlog of Valentines.
You must have a fair bit of those event items from the wheel.
Yeah, the Valentines actually are just leftover because I mastered those, and that was the most recent one. And I had a lot more snowballs, but then I bought the background, so I have less. But yeah, occasionally I still get the event items every once in a while from the wheel. It's always like a funny, it's always funny. Then the next spin, I get another random, and it's like worms, 45 worms. Here you go. Thanks. Needed that.
I feel like we haven't talked about GMs on the podcast for a while, and
I mean, we can if you'd like to. What are you working on?
I'm not working on anything right now in the GMs because I have enough of the Ascension knowledge for the tower that I'm just not worried about it right now. But when I have talked with or sort of given a little bit of advice to other players and doing the GMs, I just sort of talked about my approach to it, which was, I would always have 3 types of GMs going. It would be a crop GM, a fish GM, and then like crafting. So it's sort of like 3 types at the same time. And then crops would be whatever's fastest in terms of growing time. And then for fish, there's an excellent community guide by What the Fox, where you can use a spreadsheet to figure out how many nets you'll need by area. So, you may find that you want X number of large nets within a particular area. For let's say you need 2,000 large nets for the next 2 easiest fish in area A, but you need 3,000 large nets for the next 4 easiest fish in area B, right? So you want to go for B if you need at least 4 more GMs. Does that make sense?
It does.
Yeah. So I love that spreadsheet. Thank you, What the Fox. And then for crafting, I think at some point everyone figured out that Arnold Palmer's were incredibly powerful. But that's how I ended up getting the GM badge before the Explorer badge, was because I solely used Lemonade when we didn't have Arnold Palmer's. But then Arnold Palmer's came about, and so I used those solely. And so those were a lot more efficient to get resources. Trading is the number one most efficient way, but then it's followed by Arnold Palmer's and then exploring yourself. So if you don't worry about the Explorer badge, if you're not interested in that, then go with trading and Arnold Palmer's. I can't say that word. It's really tricky.
It's hard. I can't, if I say it more than once in a couple minutes, I really have to watch me saying it because it comes out wrong for some reason. I don't know why. Arnold Palmer.
No.
Bella, can you
APs.
try it?
They're just APs.
You try it.
APs.
Arnold Palmer, 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 Arnold Palmer.
The Arnie Palmies.
Arnie Palmy. That is easier, but
and cuter.
Doesn't roll off my tongue.
I think we still had a question left on the roster. So why don't I reel it back in and ask you what's interesting about you? What you got?
I was just gonna talk about puzzles at that point. So I feel like we've already covered that.
How about a breakdown of your titles on your public bio?
A breakdown of my titles. So my titles on here are inspired from the Game of Thrones series. So I don't know. Should I be reading out the title myself? I feel like someone else should be announcing my titles.
Angelheartscake, a farm RPG. I always read it as Angel's Heart Cake. like the and like when I first saw it, I always thought it was like Devil's Food Cake, but like not like I thought it was like a play on that. But anyways, that's just a
Oh no, I just like cake.
yeah, I also like cakes. So Angelheartscake, a farm RPG, we covered that one. First of her name. Do I read the whole thing at once?
Yeah, just read the whole thing at once.
I'm gonna try. Angelheartscake, a farm RPG, first of her name, queen of the what's that word? Help me. Rangefurs and the first caribou, protector of the Arctic tundra, the mother of Rudolphs, the Khaleesi of Great Snow Sea, the unfrozen, beyond sleigh, breaker of rains.
Thank you.
My glasses are not on my face, so I had to like get close to my screen. I'm
well, sorry I made you do that.
I'm becoming my mother.
But yeah, I mean, this is just, you know, in the spirit of fun for the Rudolph herd that I manage. It follows Daenerys, the character Daenerys from the Game of Thrones series, who has many, many titles.
And yours are all just the Rudolph keeper, but longer.
Yes.
What is Rangefur? I looked at that word and I was like, I don't know how to say it.
I think it's the genus for reindeer.
I'm going to look it up. I'm going to Google it. It is.
There you go. I needed another name, some other way to say reindeer or caribou. There's only so many synonyms.
I learned something new today. At least one thing. I've probably learned more than one
useful
thing.
In trivia.
What is a Rangefur? That was worse than trying to say Arnold Palmer. It's like that was so many words. Like I said, like my glasses are just not on my face. So like I had to pick up my laptop and like hold it closer.
It's all right. I don't expect anyone to say my full name and titles. You know, sometimes Angelheartscake is too long for folks, so they'll just shorten to AHC sometimes.
Yeah, and usually if I'm gonna at somebody in chat, it's because they're in chat and I just click on their little icon. The only one I'll just randomly type out the username is Trid, even if he's not there.
That was short and easy to do. So there you have it. You're expected to copy and paste the entire string of the entire title whenever you address Angelheartscake in chat from now on.
Every time.
Every time.
Yeah, because the spaces are going to mess you up. You know how you're trying to tag people, but you got spaces in there. It just doesn't work out.
It doesn't need a tag at this point. We'll know. We'll know exactly what we're talking about.
Is there a character limit to like?
I think there is a character
what
limit.
you can chat in the channels.
We haven't found it yet. I'm gonna go post about you in global. I'm gonna go do it. Hold on. But I'm also gonna at
see if my
you.
whole name will fit.
I think it will. I gotta go all the way back to the beginning so I can at you. There it is.
Meanwhile, that canary won't shut up.
Like, okay, so I heard.
Is that the only pet you have?
Yes, just one.
They had a dog.
We do have a dog and a canary and a bearded dragon and a couple betta fish. One of them has been dying for weeks. He's got like this big tumor on the side of his face that makes it so he doesn't float right.
Oh no.
And we're like, he's dead. No, he's not. He still swims around and eats and making bubbles.
Oh my goodness.
He's living his best life.
He is, as long as he wants to. Wada is appalled.
But I don't know.
I'm not sure about what.
I don't know if
unrelated, I think.
Yeah, I think.
But yeah, maybe it might.
That's something about precious jewels. Okay, we can let that one die.
Yeah.
All right. Looks like my name and titles do fit in global. There it is.
They do. They fit. I feel like if we're talking about precious jewels, we've probably degenerated to the end of the useful part of this conversation. Sorry, Fox. So with that, I will say thank you again, Angelheartscake, one more time for making some time and reaching out to come out and be on the podcast. We really appreciate it and had fun getting to know you and talking with you some.
Sure. Thanks so much for having me.
Farewell until next time in the chats.
Ooh, I guess, can I do also the classic Augie sign off too?
Yes, please do. Yes.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.